And we are live in five, four, three, two, one. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to the Live Drive Jive with your host, Frank Bunday, broadcasting to you from the central kingdom of the celestial dragon, Twilight Zone Old Peking. Welcome back, Wayfarer, wherever you are, whoever you are, and whenever you're receiving this message. We're going live once again, like Finnegan. So if you've got a yen to expand your kin, then let's get zen. This one's being broadcast to you from on the road as I'm rolling down the street, nice and neat. Got my foot on the pedal, got the pedal to the metal, and trying to get down to the office. I hope you're doing well, Wayfarer. Welcome back. This is the first time in a long time that I've done a live drive jive archive, and I got it set up on the StreamYard, so we got about a good 30 minutes before I arrive at the academy. So that's good magic. We might be able to go a few minutes longer as I debrief once I get to the parking lot. But if you're out there in Happy Land, you'd like to stop by and say hello, why don't you go on over to buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday and put a little something, something in the tip jar. That'll put the lead in my pencil, the jelly in my donut, and the pep in my step. I hope y'all good looking, sexy people out there in Happy Land, keeping nose to the grindstone, rolling with the punches, and getting shit done, because that's what it's all about. Getting it done and having fun. All right, Wayfarer. So here we are at, I think we're at Liangma Chao, which is like two horse bridge, Sanyuan Chao. Now we're at three chamber bridge. And we're in Beijing, guys. If the camera was working, I could show you what's going on, but it's not. For some reason, my camera is blocked on my phone for StreamYard and for YouTube. Not exactly sure what's going on with that, but I do feel like it's an insidious bit of treachery by the machine, because every one of you knows that the machine lies, and that's no kind of fun, being constantly lied to by the machine. I have put the link in the chat box, guys. So if you're out there and you're feeling chitty chatty, then why don't you jump on with Frank Monday on a live drive jive archive. What a beautiful day, guys, today. What a treat. It's clear skies. I think the AQI's got to be really low today, man. Like probably in 2030, something like that. Almost zero. Like this is really, really good weather, which is it's really a treat. Because this old Peking, man, we don't usually have good clean air here, man. This place can get pretty fucking dirty. Abdick Dinkus. Is it Dinkus or Dickus? Biggest Dickus. Good to see you again, Abe. How the hell are you? I hope you're doing well out there in Happy Land. Greetings and salutations, amigo. It is in the AM here in old Peking. It is 6:15 AM on, what is it, a Tuesday? Frank Monday coming at you on a Tuesday, June 3rd. So I'm broadcasting to you from the future. I got my exit coming up. Let's see if all these assholes and idiots, right? The AI, there's a lot of AI out on the road this morning, guys. We are driving. We're in the thick of it. AI, asshats and idiots. So, you know, when I'm out in traffic and I'm headed to the office, I like to sing that number one Frank Monday hit single that you hear on FM radio all the time. Get out the way, bitch. Do you know that one, Abe? It goes a little something like this. Get on up. Get on up. Get on up out the way, bitch. Get on up. Get on up. Get on up out the way, bitch. Move your big old fat ass out my way, biatch. Because I'm coming through, and I'm moving, and I'm grooving, and I'm jamming to the tunes of Frank Monday's hit single, Get Out the Way. Yeah, so these motherfuckers, they jump on the highway. They hit the on-ramp and hit their brakes at the same time. It's like, that's not the way you're supposed to merge with traffic, you fucking idiot. Oh, oh, it really takes the jelly out of my donut. You know how you can put the jelly in my donut? Get over to buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday and put a little something, something in the coffee bean counter. Yeah, that would be really helpful, guys. I appreciate that. I can't even see the chat box. Let me see if I can do something to minimize my window here. And yeah, it looks like the only thing that's been said is the link. The link is there, guys. I'm checking the guest room. Nobody in the guest room yet. I've invited guests. So you have an open invitation this morning on the live Drive Jive archive with your host, Frank Monday, coming at you once again like Finnegan, guys. So let's get zen. Let's get into it. So I was talking about the weather here in Old Peking, and we've had debilitating smog for many a year. In fact, according to The Economist magazine, I believe it was like in 2005 or 2006, we were rated in the top 10 heaviest air pollution cities in the world. Are we still coming through, Abe? Is the transmission dropped to 0, guys? I don't know if you're actually out there anymore. Maybe they cut me off because I started talking shit about the air pollution. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody's out there anymore in Happy Land, guys. That's all right. If you've got a moment and you're not operating heavy machinery, all right, why don't you take a moment to take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, oh, and then relax. Command yourself to relax. Inhale and imagine your holy guardian angel standing above you with red gold wings vibrating at a high frequency. Inhale and aspire to your angel. Exhale, you and your angel are one. It's good magic, guys, right there. The old meditation of the holy guardian angel. Yeah, I'm checking this thing, man. It looks like it's not really working correctly. That's okay, though. You know, what can you do? Let me throw, I think I can throw this title up there. Did that work? Yeah, that worked all right. We got media assets. I wonder what's in the media assets. Oh yeah, we got the music background. I think it's available. Video clips. Backgrounds. Background music. There it is there. There it is there. We'll see how that works. Is that working all right? Ooh. Wow, there's an accident on the road, guys. Somebody's got the car parked right in the middle of the fucking street. That's weird. I mean, in the middle of the highway. In the middle of the super highway. Don't park your car in the middle of the super highway, right? That's not any kind of cool. Let's see what we're missing here. Are we still transmitting? Did the music ever start playing? I don't know, man. I'm not going to try to figure this out while I'm driving. Maybe that was a warning back there. A car that had fucked around once and found out, right? Now, what's going on with my navigation here? And what's going on with the old chit-chat box? It says, new to streaming. Maybe you'd like to check out StreamYard. That's weird. I didn't push that. I didn't think I did anyway. Trippy. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get the show started right with the adoration of Abraxas. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of all things visible and invisible, master of both the light and the darkness, he who was, is, and shall be. We adore thee and we invoke thee. Send us one of your divine spiritual agents, our holy guardian angel, to protect and guide us through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere, and a cleansing wind to disperse all negativity and endless human opinion. Teach us those secret things which we must know for the completion of the great work and the glory of thine ineffable name, Adonai. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Amen. All right, we got a big pile up here at the toll gate here on the airport expressway. There are just a bunch of people hitting their brakes and slowing down because you're supposed to pass through the ETC, Electric Transaction Center. I don't know if that's what it means or not. ETC, electric something. Yeah, beeps. You guys heard that beep probably. And so that's me passing through the toll gate. I didn't even check to see what it said, man. I think it's usually like $2.75 to drive. Like, it doesn't even seem like 10 kilometers. Maybe 5 kilometers, and they're just fleecing me out of my money, nickel and diming me to death. Seems like the tax dollars pay for the highways, and then they continue to charge you for them every time you drive on them anyway. What are we paying taxes for? Just jerking yourself off every time you give the GOV some money, because they're just gonna stick it to you anyway, no matter how much money you give them. Better off not giving them anything if you can get away with it. And I am in the 120 lane, supposed to be doing 120 kilometers per hour. Everyone's doing 90. So yeah, they're all half awake. They don't really care. They're just kind of chilling, hanging back, waiting for the traffic to pile up so that everybody fucking is late to work. And that's the way it works, man. The road is filled with NPCs and AI. Asshats and idiots. One after another. Ain't nothing you can do about that but sing that old hit single. Get on up, get on up, get on up out the way, biatch. Get on up, get on up. Move your big old fat ass out my way. Cause I'm coming through. And I'm moving. And I'm grooving. I always baffle on the guys who ride like their mopeds on the highway, on the expressway. Number one, it's illegal, but number two, it's just deadly. I mean, why would you ride a fucking scooter that can only do maybe 60, 70 kilometers an hour at top speed on a highway where, multi-pound, thousands of pound vehicles are doing 100? It's just weird, but they slip on here and then they ride the shoulder. And they know they're breaking the law, but they don't give a fuck, It's faster. I got to get where I'm going, baby. Care how many laws I'm breaking? I don't even have a license plate on this thing. Yeah, so they can't get caught, so they can kind of slip under the radar. I guess they're like smugglers and freedom fighters, right? Actually, they're just criminals. They're just unlawful citizens. People who don't care about putting themselves in danger and everybody else in danger too. But it takes all kinds, right, to make the world go round. A little this, a little that. Might as well be a self-centered narcissist and jump on the expressway on your moped, right? I mean, if it's going to save you 5 minutes, why not? All right, good looking out. I see somebody out there in Happy Land. It's Mojo Shop. What's happening, Mojo Shop? I put the link in the ideas room. If you want to jump on here and talk shop with old Frank Bundy on the live Drive Jive archive, you're more than welcome. Anyone and everyone. Okay, I got to get off the highway. I got a flatbed truck ahead of me that is strapped to the gills with what look like wooden pallets. Let me see, is that what he's got? Yeah, he's got a whole collection of wooden pallets. I guess he's making a wooden pallet delivery this morning. I got a wild nose hair too that's kind of going all over the place. I need to get in there and trim it. I wonder if I bought my nose hair trimmers. I hope I did, because I don't want to have to fucking play with that nose hair for the whole week. I guess I could stop by a pharmacy somewhere, right? And get myself another pair of nose hair trimmers, a little pair of scissors. Scissors. And trim that motherfucker. I haven't done a live drive Jive archive in a long time, guys, because typically I don't have the, pardon me. I don't have the time or energy to do it because I don't drive to work every morning anymore. Wow, am I pulling into the right lane here? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. And I'm driving a different way to the academy now. My wife talked me into using the expressway, a different expressway than I had been using, because there's two that come out here into the suburbs. We live downtown, of course, in Beijing. Twilight Zone, old Peking, right? And yeah, so she taught me a new way that actually turned out, she had been telling me, she's like, you should take this way to the academy in the morning if you got to drive down there. It's faster and easier. And I was like, but I'm used to this way of doing things. And that'll require me to change. And so I fought it for a while, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. And then I left a little earlier one day, and I thought, I'm going to give it a shot and see if she's right. And yeah, it turned out she was right. Not only was she right, yeah, it saves time. It takes less time. It's better. It's less stress. You know, sometimes you got to listen to the old lady, the old ball and chain. She might actually know what the fuck she's talking about, especially due to the fact that she's a native to this grand old city. And I'm just a visitor, even though my visit has lasted 25 years now, which is wonderful. I've learned the city pretty good. I know it better than most natives, or just as good anyway, because I do a lot of driving. And I used to do a lot of live drive Jive archives, but I don't anymore. I don't do them as often. So how are you guys doing out in Happy Land? Can you hear that background music? I don't even know if it's playing, because nothing's coming through in on my headset, and I don't even know if the transmission's getting through. But I do see a comment there. It says much love, so thank you for that. And it says I can delete comment. I can show on stage. Okay, cool. Yeah, it says I'm showing it on stage now. So there it is there. It says much love for all from Mojo Shop. Good looking out, Mojo Shop. Hope you're doing all right out there in Happy Land. Thank you for stopping by to tune in. Got 5x5 from the Mojo Shop. Good magic. Yeah, so what was I talking about? I wanted to get into the air pollution, but what am I gonna do? Cry about it all the time? I lived through it, and it's much better now. If you ever thought about visiting Beijing in the past, you know, China. They're doing great things over here in China, everyone. But if you ever thought about coming over and you thought, well, you know, the air pollution's really bad, I don't want to run the risk, blah, 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 you know, all that, and you were a bit of a crybaby, it's much better now, and I would even recommend it. You know, I would even recommend it for sensitive people that, you know, don't do well in bad air, because the air, for the most part, I'd say 90% of the year now is pretty good, pretty damn good. And today's especially good. I don't even know what the AQI is today. Let me check real quick on my map, on my cell phone or whatever, on the weather app. Let's see if that weather app loaded up. Oh, they changed the weather app on me. That's weird. How did that happen? Oh, okay, here's the right one. You know, they'll only show you the AQI in Beijing on the app if it's good. If it's bad, they won't show it to you. Yeah, it's 14 on the AQI. So anything below 50 usually looks pretty clear. And in a big city like this, I don't think you can ever get near to zero. But yeah, 14, that is super low, man. That is nice. We got unbelievably clean air today. That's good magic, man. I like that. We had a holiday too, so yesterday I was off. It was Monday, and even though it was a Monday and it's a regular work day, we had it off because it was Children's Day. Wow, there's a whole collection of birds right there. There's like 4 or 5 of them, and they're all like maybe like mid to late 30s gals headed to probably the office or something, and they're all a little bit pudgy, just exactly the way I like them. That was nice, man. I enjoyed seeing that. That's the first time I've seen that on this road. That's kind of weird. I wonder what those gals were out doing, shuffling their way to the office or something. If I had any room in my car, I'm almost like to pull over and offer them a ride. Get some of those fleshy gals in the car with me. I got a little extra time. I could maybe drive them and deliver them straight to their office park. Why walk when you can ride, right? That was nice. That was delightful. That put a little lead in my pencil, guys. What a fun thing. What a nice thing to see. What a treat. First thing in the morning. Some fleshy, voluptuous gals out headed to the office. Yes, indeed. Yeah, other things going on? I don't know. Not a lot, man. Be honest with you. I could see the mountains. I think this is the first time all year that I've been able to see the mountains in such stunning 4K clarity. Feeling blessed today, guys. What a blessed day. What a beautiful, wonderful thing to be driving down the highway. We're off the highway now, though. I've exited into the suburbs, and we're navigating the back rooms to get to the office. And I'm kind of starting to think about breakfast, man. It's pushing on towards 7 o'clock. It's 6:30 a.m. And I'm thinking I might get myself a sausage egg biscuit or sausage egg McMuffin over at Mickey D's with a hashed brown and a little bit of milk tea. Maybe I've got my coffee in a thermos. I got my Stanley insulated cup here in the cup holder filled with hot black magic. And you know how I got that coffee, guys? Somebody headed over to buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday, and they put a little something in the tip jar. And I can appreciate that. That's good magic, man. Thank you for that. That was Hugo. Hugo did that, and Dave as well. Thank you, Dave. Dave in Alabama and Hugo in Paris. Both have visited the coffee page and given a gift of the heart, man. What a nice thing, right? What a wonderful thing to give a gift of the heart to a fellow wayfarer, a fellow YouTube broadcaster. And as far as I know, Hugo, wow, that guy just whipped around me, man. He was stuck in the left-hand turning lane. He wanted to go straight, so he just cut right in front of me. That's okay. Get in there, man. I'm not going to be angry. As long as I'm not in a hurry, I'm not going to hit my horn and raise hell. We've got Mojo Shop tuning in from South Carolina. Mojo Shop, I've never seen you in the ideas room here at the Frank Monday channel. So why don't you take this opportunity to tell me a little something about yourself, man? What is the story with Mojo Shop? You're from South Carolina. I can see that. You're going into the abodes of the evening, right? 6:30 p.m. That's good magic. Not 7-Eleven. McDonald's here next to my school. You guys know I'm a high school teacher, man. I work at a private academy, and I work in the English department, of course. Well, actually, it's the foreign languages department. Which is good magic. But what about you, Mojo Shop? It looks like you might run a shop. Do you have a YouTube channel? If so, I could give a shout out for your YouTube channel and tell my 800 subs to go over there and sub up on Mojo Shop if it's good stuff. If it's a magic shop, if you're selling herbs and magic wands and robes and other accoutrements of the arts, of the arcane arts, or whatever it is you do, man. Let me know all about it. Tell me all about it. Not originally from South Carolina, eh? Yeah, that's interesting. Where are you originally from then? And what kind of shop do you run, amigo? Hermano? Are you an hermano or an hermana? Are you a senor or a senora? Or a senorita, perhaps? Odale, señorita, ¿cómo está? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué onda, güey? See, I gotta kind of focus on traffic here a little bit, guys. I got the AI and the NPCs weaving in and out. Nobody seems to know how to drive first thing in the morning. This guy's gonna try to get over on top of me. I ain't gonna let him do it. I let the last guy do it. But you know what? I ain't gonna let everybody do it. Ain't no reason why I should. Oh, he whipped around the outside and made his way up to the front of the fucking pack anyway. He's like, motherfucker, you ain't gonna let me over. I'll get on over anyway. And this dude too. Wow, people are driving really bad this morning, guys. Ooh, what happened there? Wonder what happened with that. Yeah, you gotta be fully on your game when you're out here in traffic, man, because you never know what these motherfuckers are gonna try to pull. Okay, let me check the we're at a red light, so I can check the ideas room now. Whoops. What's going on? Okay, so Mojo Shop says he's kind of a quiet guy, not originally from South Carolina. I can't touch anything correctly. Okay, not a content creator. No shop now. Had a business years ago. Kept the name. Okay, that's good, Magic. I can appreciate that, man. So maybe you're taking a break from the old busy world of colored dust and NPCs, right? You've had enough of it for now and just taking it easy. That's good. Are you on a hermitage? Are you a renunciate and aestheticist? Have you renounced the world for a while? At least in the larger part, for the most part. I'm putting a little fire to a JP Farrell, guys. So that's good magic, man. I can appreciate that. I like that. I used to work in business. I worked in retail for a bit. I worked in sales. And I did some other things right after college, to try to make ends meet, make a living out there hustling and shuffling. But then what brought me over to China was I like Chinese culture, and I got involved in a postgraduate research program at one of the universities over here studying poetry, Chinese poetry, because I got a degree in literature back in the States, an English degree. And I wanted to come to China, and so I came over here, and then that one thing led to another, and it led to a brief career in television and radio. But then I got involved in education, and I started working in education. I've been doing that ever since. So I've been working in education for more than 20 years, going on 25 now. And I've worked at all different kinds of levels in education. I worked at the collegiate level for a while, and then corporate, and I worked in training schools. And since then, I've been working in government schools, government funded, I guess, what do we call those back in the US? Public school. I worked in public school for a while, and now I'm working at a private academy, and I've been doing that for like the last decade. It's probably the best situation out of them all because it has the lowest stress level, right? And everything's very clearly organized. And as long as you do all your office work and, fulfill all your classes and the curriculum and stuff like that, then nothing really goes wrong for the most part. When you're, there's a much higher level of accountability and, what's the word? Autonomy. When you're working in corporate training, it pays a lot better, honestly. Like corporate training pays a lot more money, but you have to do everything on your own pretty much, unless you work with like a placement company, which I would work with agents But a lot of times you got to go in and sell your own jobs and create your own training packages and do seminars and workshops and, working in various corporations and stuff like that. So it's a lot more legwork. I would say I could make 2 to 3 times as much money, though, in corporate training as I do working a high school job. But the stress level is just way too high. Like, you spend a ton of time on the road traveling here and there, and you're constantly under the gun. And I didn't like that, man. It's exhausting. It's spiritually exhausting and physically and spiritually draining, right? Really. Mojo Shop says he's from Western New York. Spent 25 years in Mobile, Alabama. Wife passed into the abodes of the timeless homeland beyond the veil. Sorry to hear that, man. My condolences. 3 years ago. That's not long, man, to have a beloved spouse. And yeah, just my condolences. I don't know that there's nothing anybody can say in a situation like that except I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Give me a second, man. I got to get my head back in the game. There's ever-changing traffic conditions going on right now. Wow, this dude just hit his brakes for what appears to be no reason. But let me see. Yeah, I guess he had a reason. Some gal on a moped pulled out in front of him with a mop. So she's headed to a mop job. She's got a mop and a bucket on her moped. Wow, she's out getting it first thing in the morning. Been on the road since. Now I'm a nomad. Wow. It's kind of a big deal, man. I can appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for stopping by to say hello. If it's your first time, don't let it be your last time. Check back often. I like to go live twice a week. For you, it will be Tuesday and Thursday mornings. And for me, it'll be Tuesday and Thursday evenings, because we are exactly 12 hours apart, my friend. It is 6:46 a.m. in Old Peking here in China. Yeah, thank you for sharing your story with me, man. I like to connect with people over the internet. I'm here for fellowship and communion in the name of the Lord our God, who art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done as on earth as it is in heaven. He every day he gives us this day our daily bread and forgives us our trespasses as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Hopefully we are not led into temptation, but delivered from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, beloved. Right? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit. I don't know why they took the feminine out of it, man. I like the Shekinah. I like a little woman in my spirituality. I like a divine mom hanging out there with the Father. Mom and dad and divine child in my mind. All hail the Father Dagon. All hail the Mother Hydra. The stars have aligned and Cthulhu is risen. Yeah, so wow, these guys are going to run into each other, man. They're just filled with road rage this morning, guys. This dude has not figured it out. And he's all over the fucking place, man. Cutting out into traffic. And wow. He was in a sedan, though, you know. A guy in a sedan wearing a business suit. You better take him seriously. He looked like he was probably in his mid-50s. And he pulled straight into the other guy's lane and got into a game of chicken with him, you know, a head-on battle, hitting the horn and easing his sedan forward. A business sedan. That's serious stuff, you know. Me, I'm in a kind of family SUV style vehicle. Yeah, I worry about that too, you know, being a widower. Like my wife, she doesn't take as good care of her health as I think she should. She does a lot of late nights and on the phone, and she stresses out a lot. You know, she's got a bit of a a bit of a case of the ragers. She's an aggro gal, man, and she rages a lot. And I've been telling her since, day one, since we got married. I'm like, you got to take it easy. I said, rage isn't good for your heart. And women typically outlive men. It's a rare thing that a husband will outlive his wife, especially if they stay married long enough. The woman usually nags the man into an early grave. That's a very typical thing. They say women usually outlive men in a married couple, and it's because the man usually succumbs to her nagging early on. But I've lived a nomadic lifestyle at various times in my life. In fact, living in a foreign country for going on 3 decades now, that's almost kind of nomadic. I mean, we've pretty much lived in the same 3 apartments that we've always lived in, but I was out there on the road a bit. My dad passed away when I was in high school, and I had to put myself through college, and that was kind of nomadic. I went to like 3-4 different colleges in order to complete all of my credits to get a degree, and then I went on a nomadic adventure with a buddy to Boston, and I lived in Boston. I'm originally from Los Angeles. If you don't know much about me, Mojo Shop, I'll give you a little bit of the backstory, the fast action backstory. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and I was there until my dad had a stroke and we started to lose all the family business, and we had to kind of beat feet. And so I ended up having to fend for myself, and I did fairly well. I worked 2-3 jobs at a time and went to college, bought a house, bought a couple of cars. I was born in the early 70s. So it was a little bit easier to be kind of a self-made man in the mid to late 90s than it is now. It's a little bit harder, I think, for young men growing up these days. I grew up in a world that wasn't yet entirely anti-white. Anti-whiteism wasn't fully fledged out yet. It hadn't blossomed like it is today. But it was there. There was white flight, and there was a lot less opportunities, and there was affirmative action, and they were doing their best, the far left liberal governments, to destroy the country, to destroy the United States by increasing illegal immigration and trying to offset the local populaces and usurp them and kind of get them out of the equation and let all the new immigrants in to destroy everything. But that wasn't fully fledged out yet like it is today. Today it's a lot more difficult for young people growing up, especially people that are of the Irish underclass. If you're regular Germanic descent, Irish or Jew, then you're basically a ghetto baby for the most part. And so, yeah, they did a number on everyone, man. But that's enough crying about it, right? Just move on. So how do I want to say this? Yeah, I got married when I was 30, and me and my wife had a couple of kids. I moved over here, like I told you already, and went to a program here in China. And my kids are getting grown up now. My daughter's 18 this month, and my son's 16 last month. And so, yeah, I've nearly fulfilled my obligation to all of them to a good extent. I mean, yeah, I don't think so, though. Like, my dad checked out when I was 19, 20, and I felt like that was way too young. So if I could give them another 10 good years, then I feel like they'll get a better shake at life. Because had my dad lived for another 10 years, I would have been a lot better situated in the U.S. to have a good life there. But I probably wouldn't have come to China again if my dad hadn't gotten sick and I hadn't had to be a self-made man. And I went from hero to zero really quickly, and then I went from zero back to hero through my own labor. Well, yeah, that's basically the story. We all kind of, we all have to endure some hardship and suffering in life. I think it makes us more appreciative of what we finally do earn. That's one way to look at it anyway. A lot of people these days I know are giving up and relying on social, welfare programs and social systems in order to support them. And it's because I think it's in part due to the fact that it is very, very challenging, especially for young men these days. And the world has kind of turned its back on them, with all of this feminism and diversity, equity, and inclusion, and saying, you've got white and oh no, did we lose connection? No, it looks like we still might be connected. Yeah, there's a street sweeper in front of me, just barely moving. And then he got around a little flatbed truck that's also barely moving. And now everyone is going around it. Let's see, oh, got my opportunity. I can get around it too. But my turn's coming up. Man, that guy is